Hello 8.4. Today my presentation is about cell biology. In part 1 we're going to learn about chloroplast organelles within a plant cell, what they look like and what they do, how they are important for the health of a cell, and what would happen to the organism if they stop functioning. In part 2 we're going to learn about red blood cells that are found in animals and guard cells which occur in plants. We will explore their makeup and function and compare their similarities, differences, and roles they play in the health of their host organism. The chloroplast organelle generally has green bean-shaped outer membrane. Inside this is an inner membrane containing stroma, vacuoles, and clusters of thylakoids, which are called granomes. The chloroplast organelle is important because it turns sunlight into food for the plant. This process is called photosynthesis and allows the plant to reproduce more cells and grow. If the chloroplast stopped functioning properly, it would not be able to produce food for the plant, and therefore the plant will gradually die over time. I have chosen a red blood cell as my animal cell to study. Red blood cells play a critical role in an animal's body by carrying oxygen from the lungs to the parts of the body that need it, such as muscles and organs. Red blood cells then take carbon dioxide away from these muscle and organs back to the lungs to then be exhaled. Red blood cells have a cell membrane which contains a nucleus, a Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, and the ribosome. It also has a rough endoplasmic reticulum and a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. I have chosen a guard cell as my specialized plant cell to study. Guard cells have an important role to play in the functioning of plants. They control the opening and closing of the stoma, which allow gases to come in and out so the plant can photosynthesize and produce food for it to grow. Guard cells occur in pairs. They have an outer cell wall that contains the nucleus, chloroplast, and vacuole organelles. How are the red blood cells and the guard cells similar? Both of these cells have an outer cell wall, vacuoles, and a nucleus. Red blood cells in animals and guard cells in a plant both help to move gas molecules through their organism. Red blood cells take oxygen, O2, to the tissue and organs, then take away carbon dioxide, CO2. Guard cells play a similar role, but in reverse. They let carbon dioxide, CO2, into the plant and oxygen, O2, out. How are they different? The most obvious difference is that the red blood cells are red in color and the guard cells are typically green. The red blood cell doesn't have a chloroplast like the guard cells do. Red blood cells do not occur in organized pairs like the guard cells need to. They both have a cell membrane, but guard cells have a cell wall where red blood cells don't. Red blood cells are critical to the health of an organism because they take oxygen from the lungs and deliver it to the body's organs and muscles. They then return carbon dioxide to the lungs to escape the body by exhaling. If this exchange of gases did not occur, the animal would die. There are some 30 trillion red blood cells in the average human body, and they make up approximately 1/4 of all the cells in the human body. Guard cells are equally important for the health of plants because they allow gas exchange into the plant cells from the atmosphere. They allow carbon dioxide and other gases into the plant for photosynthesis to occur. During photosynthesis, CO2 and water, H2O, is converted into oxygen, O2, and sugar by the chloroplast so that the plant can grow. Oxygen is then expelled back into the atmosphere by the open guard cells. To summarize, today in part 1 we've explored the structure, function, and role of chloroplast organelles within a plant organism and discovered how critical they are for their survival. In part 2, we learnt about animal red blood cells and plant guard cells. We explored their makeup and function and compared their similarities, differences, and the critical roles they play in the health of their organism. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.